You don't know what old is, does he, Bill?
No, but it's coming.
With any luck, it's coming, right?
harder and harder, but we've got less equipment for it, but
Where's that I need to sign it?
We're coming back.
I put it up there. She said we'll take a little break after the public hearing so you and Mickey can get everything signed.
Cause it's,
Over at noon.
Thursday, Friday, it's over around
Under
noon.
12:30 is the voting.
I just
Yeah.
did that
So
right before I
you
came.
don't have to leave.
How'd you get that already?
They emailed it like,
Oh, they were. I
1
thought they
minute
closed
before
at
I-
4.
Yeah.
I don't know, they said
That was good to me. You might show it to Steve A
Okay.
too. Sorry for all the confusion. I could,
no, it's
I could
okay.
not find the example of the other one. Steve
I
A
couldn't
had
either.
it.
I checked.
I know.
Well,
But if the county did it, it would have been yes. So that's what we're thinking. But
It
we'll
must have
just do it
been.
ourselves
Yeah,
this
it must have
time.
been.
And Karen's not here to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hopefully that will be good.
Yeah, that looks good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this.
really,
I've never had to go through. all
I already have dinner cooked, so I'm not here. That's unusual.
So,
I'm glad you mentioned the Dutch one, but I missed.
so if you lose that again, that's the,
A nap?
Yeah.
that can get confusing, but that's what you call the Dropbox.
I still
council
sunburn
meetings
from being
a
outside.
year,
Mhm.
a month.
You don't look sunburned, but you don't really burn, do you?
Thank you.
But, you know, it's still a lot.
Did she?
I know
Our whole
how
family
they-
went there, of course, so myself, my wife.
Oh, yeah.
my child.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Right? It just doesn't.
Or the mayor.
He's sitting in the crowd.
He's sitting in the crowd so
He's a
somebody could take his
spectator.
spot.
He expects you to run this whole thing. Oh, I thought I had that cat deal sold.
Yeah, and that's.
Did you almost get it sold?
Like high school girl, because you can find some plants
Uh-huh.
for an extra $10. You can throw that
Uh-huh.
in too.
That's how much I bought it for.
No, and Derek's like, why are you showing that one?
No, I don't want anything for it. You guys can keep it. I just wanted it out of my house.
Right, I'm like,
Because my
Well,
cat
I'm never
was
gonna
losing
get, I
it.
guess.
My neighbor was tried to come over and give
Say
me
so.
one the other day. She's like, you have this for your cat? I'm like, I'm trying to get rid of the one I have.
No price.
well, if anything, yeah, his girlfriend.
Yeah, you can give it to him. I don't care. Do whatever you guys want with
I
it.
think so, yeah.
I'm
I
just
brought that
glad to
as
have
an
it
example, 'cause they
out.
said this, like,
I was just like,
Yeah.
so, she just.
I told Darren to take it, but then he disappeared for the whole weekend. So
we're good. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to bring you samples so you guys can see
yeah, I
it.
think Johnny tried to come Saturday to see if he needed a ride, but I don't know what he was doing Saturday.
Call the meeting to order. Heather, would you do a roll call, please?
Lanessa Arthur with First Ward,
Here,
Lucas Stansberry, Second Ward, Bill Houston, Third Ward,
Here.
Daryl Westlaw, Fourth Ward.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Bill, would you do the invitation, please?
And the Father, we come. Thank you, Lord, for all that you do. Pray that you preside over this meeting, that things be orderly and conducted in the right type fashion. Lord, we just pray that you be pleased with everything that we ask this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So what do I have to do? Say he's late?
Yeah, he's here, just please.
Could I have a motion for acceptance of the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we have a public forum. First off, we've got Carrie Spoon from Southeast Kansas Regional Planning Commission.
I don't think she wanted to do public forum.
Okay.
She's on the agenda.
Okay. Next, we have Dick Collins.
I'm up here tonight because of my water bill. Kelly's already adjusted it, but if you guys would have the system on it to warn the girls up there, we get somebody's got a leak, then I wouldn't have had 10,000 gallons of water leak out, because they called me, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was on a Friday. And you still got 18,000 gallons I got to pay for next month, which my bill last month was over $900. And we could have been, I didn't know I was leaking. And if they had the early system, because I know there's a system they can put on this system you've got to send out to let you know that they have a leak. And which Kelly, she adjusted it, which is still up around $600 for my water and electric bill. And I don't have any idea what it's going to run next month.
Okay, so
Is there anything on there, Heather, that show, I mean, if you
So-
notice,
There is. We do a water report. Kelly works it every week. It has to be consistent usage for 7 days, and then it will pop on that report. So depending on the timing, I think the way Kelly explained the report that she done, his leak started after that, and by the next time it had already been leaking, and that's when she noticed and called to actually got a hold of his wife, and then she got a hold of him. I think.
Yeah, as soon as I got
Yeah.
right on it, it was shut off and got out there. I got a guy in there that got it fixed. But if you'd had a different system set up, I wouldn't have had like 5 days of 5,000 gallon a day. That's 20,000 gallons of water.
Did you have any visible signs of a leak?
No, it was all under the house.
I don't know if we can set that for a different alert earlier or not.
I don't know. Not sure.
That'd probably be a Kelly.
I mean, I've got one
Kelly O
before, and yeah,
question.
it's 7 consecutive days,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll show you, but I guess she's only checking it once a week, so maybe that's something we need to do, is check it twice a week instead of once a week. So. just
It'd be
have a-
nice and just give you an alert that this one's been going. I'll ask her.
Yeah, if you didn't have to check it, it automatically give you an alert, would be amazing, but maybe we have to put that on the agenda to do it twice a week rather than once. Maybe 7 days is too long.
I'd check it 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because
Well,
that way
here's the deal.
they would know
Well,
and they could
it's
get
not
a hold of the
necessary.
people.
It's-
Let them
it's
know.
how
With the
it-
advanced.
It's
meeting.
how the system runs, so it might not, even if we look at it again, it might not read it because it's not 7 days.
Is there any particular amount that trips the system that says you got a problem here? Or
I mean, it'll track when it's like, less than 5 gallons an hour. Now, sometimes that can just be a toilet flapper or something like that we've come across. Then when it usually gets the 5 gallons or more an hour, we send out the letters. Kelly does.
I was gonna say,
So-
because I got a notice one time it seemed like a minimum amount. It was like 15, 20 gallon an hour.
Yeah.
But I wondered if there was something that triggered it or.
It was just consistently over your normal amount for that 7 day period. So I guess we just need to look into our software and see if it,
We can do that.
Send them a different
And Cliff and Kelly and Heather have been doing some research on advanced metering, but it's pricey, so it would have to go on the capital improvement plan. But it would also, it would have that function, right? Okay. Yeah. So, okay, we'll look into it.
would that be something that, with all this road work and everything coming up, that would behoove us to have it set in place before all that?
I think it just goes on the,
So that we get alerts sooner with all the
They
digging?
can set it up however we want.
We just have to talk to them and get it in place,
right now it's a money thing. We're gonna have to save up for it too.
right? Have to find a grant or something that would.
Yeah.
My question is there anything we can do to help Dick with the adjustment on his water leak?
We do have adjustment. That's what he did. The way the ordinance reads is they have to pay for their minimum or their average usage for the month, and then they pay for whatever the remaining amount is. They pay for half of that, and the city writes off the other half. So
There's no more we can do.
that's how our
That's what we
ordinance
do
is.
for,
Okay.
That's what we do for everybody.
I'm still trying to figure out.
Unless
how
it's
we
a
use
toilet
5,000
leak, 'cause-
Gallon out there with just two people.
And then next
Take a lot of
month,
showers.
Huh?
Take a lot of showers.
No. I usually take about a 5-minute shower and I'm out. And like our toilets are all brand new, they use less than I think they use 1.34 gallons per flush. And sometimes I got the urge, I just go outside. I'm out in the county,
We
so
didn't hear
That's called
that.
TMI.
I'm in the county. I don't worry about the city.
But we'll see if they can check into it, and she can check it more often if it'll alert us, or if that'll even do us any good, but hopefully we can look into this other system, but it'll take time because it'll take money to get there.
Okay, that's fine. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dick.
Thanks, Dick.
Moving on to regular business. Item A, public hearing to close out the CDBG sewer project.
Carrie's here. I don't know if you guys want her to speak or not. This is the lift station project and we're just trying to get it closed out for CDBG purposes.
Have anything that
I guess
you need
it's
to
public.
update us on, or?
Okay, I guess it's a public hearing for that, see if we have anybody to speak on.
Everything's going as planned. Yeah. No extra money needed anywhere.
We did all that previously. We did some change orders.
If we have nobody for public speaking, we will close the hearing. Now, do we need to approve signing the documents for that?
Should we go ahead and do B and then take a break so you guys can sign everything?
Might be easier.
Okay, we'll move on to public hearing for CDBG application for the fairgrounds.
And I don't believe we even need to do this since
That's my
they,
understanding from the
okay.
fair board is they decided not to apply for that.
You say they decided not to apply for it?
Correct.
I believe they were having, I think the match was higher than they expected or understood. So I guess we can close it out since,
Sign your documents.
No comments, that will close the public hearing for the CBDG application for the fairgrounds as they declined the grant.
And do you have documents you need to
yep.
have signed?
Vicky has them right up.
All of this.
With all of that, some of it's Heather's though. Let him. There's just like one spot she has to put her school. And then we can give them to Carrie so she can head out.
That's probably for you. these right here, request for final payment, do I need to sign those too?
I don't know if he's on the forms with the state for those, or if it's you and Karen.
I don't know either. I don't think it's me. I haven't signed any. But Karen's
You wanna wait and find out?
gone for a week.
Let me look
Okay,
tomorrow. I'll look
Okay.
in our file and see who can sign for it and just send you an
Okay.
email.
okay, perfect.
Because those, they can just come back to us, email, once they're
Okay.
signed.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving on to item C. Consider resolution for eminent domain.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is two pieces of property on the Stainless Mile that we may have to do condemnation proceedings on. I think one we're probably going to get resolved, the other I'm not sure. The first step is the council adopts this resolution. You'll see tract 1 and tract 2 in there. And you adopt that. We publish it once in the newspaper. Then the next meeting, you'll pass an ordinance. And if we still don't have it worked out, we'll file the condemnation proceeding. It's seeking a permanent easement and a temporary construction easement.
Okay.
Is this the tree?
No, this is for USDA water project. To replace that
Stainless
one.
mile. For a water line.
I don't know if this was.
The tree lady is what she's asking.
Oh, well, that was part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, correct.
What resolution number is this?
It will be 2024-16.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-16 for eminent domain.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
So we need to get that one to Philip as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Is that resolution in here?
Yeah, it's ready to be signed. You can sign it and then
I don't know if we printed it off. Did you print it off, Heather? 'Cause
On
I
what?
didn't.
The
Yeah,
eminent
resolution,
domain, no, I didn't.
I'll print it off before we leave.
yeah, we can get it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to do on that one.
Yep.
Yes, I think so.
Item D, discuss large-scale solar 5 megawatt and GRDA 1 megawatt.
I spoke to Cliff and Jess today and they want to table this. They have a meeting with KMEA soon and wanted to have a little bit more discussion and we still have time, so we're just gonna skip it for tonight.
Is that the size that you wanted after?
That's what we're still discussing.
Makes sense. Mr. Mayor, I motion that we table the discussion on large-scale solar until after the meeting that Cliff had.
I did have a question before we close that. You know, you see, this is something we're beginning to see all over the country, these solar farms, solar panels, solar this. Who's that belong to after a period of time? Who's responsible for cleaning that up? You know, I suppose it's got a livelihood, doesn't it, or a
Lifespan.
life,
Lifespan.
Yeah.
You just replace the panels.
do what?
You'll just have to replace panels once they're solar panels or.
But I'm supposing I guess what I'm saying is what becomes of the panels? Is there,
Like, do they recycle them or throw them away?
well, yeah, do they recycle or they,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I have no clue.
And the rest of it depends on who takes care of it, depends on who owns it.
Yeah.
So if we lease it from them for 30 years, they do the maintenance, we pay them to do the maintenance, and they take care of all the grass growing up between it and all that. But if it's ours, then Cliff and the boys go and take care of that and make sure that it's all operational. So it just depends on what we go with in that manner.
so like that? Just a question.
So, Mr. Mayor, I motion that we table the large scale solar after Cliff's meeting. So probably next meeting, October 21st, we'll revisit it.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to item E, consider Foley agreement.
This agreement will allow us to save our place in line essentially for the 3 megawatt CAT generator rather than release a bond now. If we release a bond now and then have to wait a year before that gets delivered, we will be paying, we're going to save a lot of interest. We're trying to like with the interim financing that we have for USDA, we know how much interest we have spent on that. We're trying to avoid that situation. And I had talked to Tyson with KMEA, and they've done some CAT generators for other cities, and they all said we released the bond this early and we're paying money on it and blah blah blah. And they're like, is there a way we can forego having to do that? So Tyson spoke with the CAT people, and this is what they came up with. So if we go ahead and sign this agreement, we're committing that we're going to buy one, but we won't be paying interest while it's being built. And we're waiting.
Are we paying anything up front?
Mm-mm.
No deposit?
Nope,
No, that'll be
nothing.
the bond. That's
It'll
what-
just, this will simply save our place in line.
Perfect. You have that paperwork on it?
Yep.
And you've looked over it?
I have, it disclaims all the warranties from Foley, and I had a conversation with Mitch. We'll have the warranties from CAT, but Foley nor KMEA has given us any warranties. We had some discussions about that.
And a lot of that should come up in the bond paperwork later, or when it,
But we've already kind of.
which
worked
we've
out
already
the bond. We've already
discussed.
worked it out. We've already talked about it.
So we're
At
good.
first, they disclaimed, KMEA disclaimed their warranties. Now what they're gonna do is pass it through to CAT if something happens, so.
And theirs were 2 years.
I don't remember, but
Well, I'm
yeah,
just looking at, that says warranty period, it says the manufacturer provides warranty for 2 years.
that's it. That would be it then.
For $2 million.
Is it $4 million, right?
Well, we have 3 something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I don't typically look at that type of equipment, but to me it seemed low, but then again, maybe that's industry standard, I guess. You
There
know,
probably
but for
is no
sure-
industry standard on the
Yeah,
huge generator.
what it would be on generators. I know that tap changer and substation, when that was failing, it had a 12-month warranty for $30,000 piece of equipment in the substation.
Nope.
But that's what Foley's given us in this.
Foley's not giving us any warranty.
So then this paperwork's
This is to put our place in line, to
not
save,
accurate.
to save our place in line.
This is just to save our place in line. Then we would go through with the actual purchase. Then we will have.
That's when.
That's when all
the
that
2
language
years-
will come
This
up.
has nothing to do with it. This is just the cost of our generator. This Foley paperwork. 'Cause
Yeah, that's what.
This is a sale agreement saying we're
Yeah.
gonna purchase it,
So do we?
but we don't have to do anything until it's delivered.
Yeah.
Which,
But this has a 2-year on it, written on it. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that-
So- But this isn't what you're signing.
yes, this one here is an agreement to purchase,
Right.
but the warranty won't start until it's delivered, which delivery date was 5/24/26. So it's, a year and a half, 2 years out.
But this paperwork says Foley's providing us with the warranty, which they just said is inaccurate.
Well, no, it does say CAT, the manufacturer provides. So we'll be Caterpillar.
Yeah, it's a manufacturer, not
Manufacturer,
Foley.
yep.
And so underneath that says Foley, equipment company provides the following, which is blank.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's telling us that they are doing it or.
If you look at paragraph number 4 on page 2, they disclaim all warranties.
So this up here, it says 2 years is from CAT.
Yes.
Yes.
That's weird that we wouldn't have signed paperwork with CAT. for that.
No, they're the,
Like,
no, you don't go to Chevrolet plant and buy a car directly from them. You buy from their dealers. Same thing here. Foley is a CAT dealer. So the same thing applies. You don't drive to St. Louis to get your Corvette. Well, it's actually Kentucky now.
No, I don't.
You go to a dealer to buy the Corvette, which was made in Kentucky. So same thing here. Caterpillar manufactures, but they have dealers, of one which is this fully.
I guess Cliff, this is the only one. Like,
There's no extra delivery costs or anything?
No, it says delivered cost.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we sign the Foley agreement for the CAT engine that we're supposed to receive.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item F, consider Public Works truck bid.
We received a USDA Community Facilities Grant for $50,000 to be split evenly between Public Works and Police Department. So Jackie will have $25,000 of grant money and Sierra will have $25,000 of grant money. They have to put in at least between 8,000 and 9,000 for the match requirements. Jackie will use all of that with one of these vehicles. And then Jackie, if you want to speak about how you
I went around to a bunch of dealers. One of the main criteria that I was trying to use was I didn't want to order one and gamble that we get it a year from now. I wanted something that was in stock. And I went to, 6 or 7 dealers. My opinion, the two best bids was the one I outlined in red was Lewisburg. It's a 1-ton Super Duty 4-door. And it has a gasoline engine, but I'd love to have a diesel engine, but I don't think it's worth the 10 or 15,000 more the diesel engines cost. The reason I went with a 1-ton is I want something to be able to pull the potholer and pieces of equipment because we have 2 trucks down there about ready to croak. They need to go in the shop for extended periods. So I wanted to go beef with enough beef to pull that trailer. The second choice would be a 3/4 ton from Hatfield that was $44,592. It doesn't have the capability to pull the equipment as much as a 1-ton. Those were the 2 best bids that I got, and they are in stock, and we could pick them up immediately. So, Would you have to put the bed on them?
Pardon?
Do you have to put the flatbed on them?
No, they're not flatbed. They're regular 4-door pickups for gas. I figured that was better to get a crew to the job site, carry 2 or 3 people in these trucks. The reason I wanted to go with the 1-ton was that's one heavy potholer, and I didn't want the truck to be squatting down because of the weight. I wanted the extra capability, but I didn't want to go the extra 10 to 15,000 for a diesel engine. So I thought the 234 was a good bid for that capability. Are they gonna, I know it's the end of the year, so they're gonna start bringing out the 25s. So did they already drop prices on? Yeah, these are all been adjusted for that. The best adjustment was from Dodge, but it was kind of funny. I went to Olathe Dodge and for the exact same vehicle, they were 51 and Hatfield was 44, but you have to add running boards to it. So it's basically 45, which is,
yeah.
but I still wanted the extra capacity of the 1-ton, considering what we have to pull. So
And this has got what for a power plant?
a 6.7 or 6.8 liter Ford gas engine. It's got trailering package and basic. I said, I don't want any frills. I want a basic truck. I don't want cloth unless it's all I can get, because I want something. I want a work truck, so it doesn't have any frills on it. They're basic trucks.
Did you get on your site that you're always on?
I did look at it a little bit. There's a site called GSA, but they have 60, 70,000 miles on them. This was a new truck. So,
Because trucks these days can go 200,000 miles, that kind of stuff.
We take care of them.
I was actually surprised. I was thinking that we were going to be looking in 70 or 80,000 range. I was really surprised. And this is actually a shorter bed, which is harder to find. But considering how long this stuff is, I didn't want the 8-foot bed. I wanted the 7-foot bed. And that's what this one, the other one, most there was, it varies. You saw on the Olathe Dodge is a good example. 51,000 for the gasoline engine, 64 for the very same truck for a diesel engine. So I think this thing's going to have plenty of pulling power. I'm not worried about it at all.
If council does make a motion to approve one of these, could you add to your motion contingent on USDA approval for the specific vehicle? Because I'm pretty sure they said we didn't have to go through the bid process, but it is a new person, so I want to double make sure before we spend that much money.
Well, I would say the 52, 234 would be the way to go. Got more power, can pull more, have a lot less problems over time for the difference in price.
Well, in the city, setting like that, it's not the miles that, that tear you up.
It's the pull.
It's the use and the.
Mhm.
Another reason I didn't go with sealed bids and a prolonged, I went with open or these bids instead, is because I wanted something that was on the lot. And if we go with sealed bids, they give us a bid it's out for 3 weeks. That truck's going to be gone before the bids are open. So it was going to be a lot of confusion.
Did you compare these to used vehicles of the same kind on the same lots?
I didn't because I
Don't want to use vehicle?
didn't think it was worth it for the money because the used market is pretty high. And I mean, I do a used vehicle, but I don't think we're going to have that much of a savings considering. I don't know. I
Plus
can
you
do
have
that.
better
I can go
warranty.
back and look for used,
You'll have
but
a better warranty on a new one.
yeah, these will have better warranty. Because it's as is if it's used, and I've got enough as is down there right now.
Not necessarily. A lot of them still do give a warranty, like 3 years or 36,000 miles. And I don't know. I thought you were going to be, when I saw that you got half this money and police got half that money, I really thought that you would be spending the bare like $10,000. I didn't think you were going to be doubling what you had. So to me, this is high. But once again, I thought we were probably going to end up buying a used vehicle that had 40 or 50,000 miles on it, and then we put on another 200 or 300 because vehicles seem to go a lot further than they used to. It used to be 100,000 miles, and oh my goodness. But now people are driving cars for 250, 300,000 miles, and trucks are getting up there to that point too. I know because I drove one, I owned, and so I guess that's where I thought we would be standing in the realm of money.
Per the grant, we do have the option to buy used, but I mean, it's up to you guys.
You know, the problem you have with buying a used with 40, 50,000 miles, you don't know how that vehicle's been used when you get into a 3/4 or a 1 ton and bigger. That's the problem you run into. If, it can be good for a while and then, you can have for 10,000 miles and then all of a sudden something goes wrong. You know, you've got to look at, okay, if this vehicle will go 200,000 miles, why are they getting rid of it at 30, 40,000 miles? That's where, you know, that's what you got to look at. But, you know, normally probably 3/4 ton, half ton is maybe a different picture, but you've got a 1 ton. They're used a lot heavier. So.
I'll make a motion that we accept bid for the 2024 F-350 Super Duty 4-door pickup, a 6.8 liter engine for $52,234.
Contingent on,
Contingent upon USDA
approval.
approval.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item G, approval for trunk or treat resolution 2024-15.
I think I'll let Heather discuss this one while I go make copies of the resolution for eminent domain.
That trunk or treat. Well,
On the 26th.
okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I was looking at the agenda and I didn't look at that. Yeah,
It's closing from forest to prairie.
4 to 8, yeah. As they usually do.
Mhm.
Do this every year, don't we?
Same thing. I think the time maybe switched from 4 to 9 last year to 4 to 8 this year. I think they were done early last year, so.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we approve trunk or treat resolution 2024/15. The trunk or treat.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item H, executive session for non-elected personnel to discuss employee promotion, pay, and employee discipline.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we go into executive session for non-elected personnel to discuss employee promotion, pay, and employee discipline. Recommend 15-minute session to include mayor, councils, city attorney, city council, city administrator, deputy city clerk, and public works director on call.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, man, he's not even out of breath after he ran back. We talked about it.
Call meeting back to order.
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we go into executive session for non-elected personnel to discuss employee promotion pay and employee discipline. Recommended 10-minute session to include mayor, council, city attorney, city administrator, deputy city clerk, and public works director.
Second.
How long for?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill was a gay.
Take it any more time.
Did you see here that public works labor got hired at $16.50
No, I didn't see
with
that.
no argument?
I didn't see that. I didn't look at the agenda. Well, I'm pretty sure it was, we get these all one now.
Well, that's not my concern. My concern is the whole wrong. Okay, so he got a new exhaust setup and he was showing his buddies. It was a Friday night and they were out at the frat house partying and they were like, let's hear it. So he revved it up. Officer happened to be passing by and heard it and was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm showing my buddies my exhaust. And he's like, have you been drinking? He's like, yeah, I mean, we're at a party. And he's like, you can't do that. And so he arrested him for DUI. And he goes to jail. It is unfortunate. Most likely it'll probably be dropped. It's his first offense. He's young and he wasn't driving. He didn't put anybody in danger. Now, granted, you could argue he could accidentally put it into gear, being intoxicated. So, whatever. Anyway, so he's telling me all this. I said, you're lucky you weren't in Oklahoma, man. And he goes, why? What happens in Oklahoma? And I said, well, according to my husband, an officer doesn't need any probable cause. Like, if they happen to see you, they have a suspicion that you're intoxicated, they don't have to test you, they don't have to put you through the little walk and stuff like that. Nothing. You're done for. You're arrested, you're charged, you're guilty. Like, court doesn't even think about it. You're done for. And he goes, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, so be lucky. And he's like, yeah. So then we have another conversation about something. Halfway to Pittsburgh, we've come full circle now. We're back to the same topic. And I said, yep, if you're going to drink like an adult, just make sure you understand the laws surrounding it. And he goes, yeah, one of the officers out of the jail was telling me it's a good thing I wasn't in Oklahoma. And I said, oh yeah? He goes, yeah. And he explained everything that I just told him. And I go, an officer out of the jail told you that, huh? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, okay.
That's hilarious. Oh, that I'm on the funny bed.
It was great. I was trying so hard not to die laughing.
Yeah, but did you hear what they do in Oklahoma?
It was the greatest thing ever. I was like, okay, tonight's gonna be a good night. Goodness, it was great. His friends are weird. They were like, when I pulled up to the frat house, they were standing outside. It's the one with the metal gorilla out front. Right on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Has like a weird oddly shaped, yeah. So there's two kids standing out there and they're just staring down at it. And I was like, what? Are they drunk too? Like, what's
The
going
answer's
on?
I'm sure,
What were
yes.
they drinking? And so I pull up and I'm like, this is the one? He's like, yeah, that's my boys out there. So, okay. And he kept calling me boss lady. And I get out and I go to let him out because he's in the prisoner seat. And the two boys, they look at me and they're like, oh, hi, officer. And I go, hi. They're like, you want a better aware kitty? And I'm like, you know what? No, absolutely not. And they're like, oh, okay. no problem. I'm like, okay. So I go let the guy out and he walks over, he's like, oh shit, it's our were-kitty. And I look over and there's a cat, like a really fuzzy cat at the base of this gorilla. He's like, yo, boss lady, you want to hold a were-kitty? I was like, I'm out. I'm leaving. You guys stay on the property, no vehicles. Go inside, actually.
Yeah.
Like, just go inside. Like, I don't know what they were drinking, but they had to have had a good night. Good night.
That sounds like they're gonna remember it.
Saturday morning at 3 a.m. Goodness.
So they're not included in.
Yes. Yep. Must have been having some good fun. By golly, they'll learn though. Oh, and he had to tell me about how he, one day, he wants to be a DEA agent. It's like, so, you got any tips for me? I said, well, don't drink and get behind the vehicle.
Especially in Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. I meet some interesting people in my line of work. That's right.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, you could be doing your job in Las Vegas. That's where I just came from.
Oof, no thanks.
It's during the middle of the day, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know if I can handle all that.
Las
I get
Vegas-
enough of the crazies here.
Las Vegas Metro gets in more shootings than I think any department I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, they shoot somebody like,
I am half tempted to move to Salem, Massachusetts though. They're hiring for law enforcement and they start out at $76,000 a year. Base pay.
Salem. How would that be though?
So where are you really from then?
Huh?
Where are you?
Where I'm from? I'm from Casey Mo,
I thought, where'd you go on vacation?
Salem, Massachusetts.
That's where I thought you were from.
Yeah, no, I just visited there because you can learn about all the witch trials and the pirates. And I just thought it was really interesting. But we started noticing things like when we were walking around. They have a lot of the buildings that they have the apartments up top, the businesses down below, just like any historical downtown. But there's several of them there, and multi-unit homes. And they're all wedged together and the streets are really narrow and all these alcoves of doors, every time we pass one, there would be multiple packages, like Amazon packages, mail and stuff, just sitting on the stoops. And I'm just thinking, interesting. And then like a day later, those same packages would still be there. Several days later, till the end of our vacation, all the packages would still be there. And I'm thinking, not in Girard. They'd be stolen.
Yeah.
They'd be going quick. Mind you, there's homeless people sleeping right next to all these stoops too. There was one near our hotel that had multiple packages and 3 homeless people with a shopping cart there. And I'm just thinking, these have got to be the most decent homeless people I've ever seen. Because nobody's touching these packages. So that made me think, well, what's their crime rates like? So I look at their statistics. They haven't had a murder in almost 10 years. Which, I mean, I'd say that's good. Gerard, never mind, I'm not going to say. But.
It's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, you compare how many people go there and visit.
Yeah. I'd say 10 years is pretty good. Because they've had over 2 million people in 1 year visiting. That's a lot. And then.
It's just slightly higher than Girard, Kansas. Slightly.
Only slightly.
Yeah.
And then their second highest crime is rape. And they haven't had any in the last 5 years. I'd say that's pretty good. And then their the most crime that they get reported on is theft. And I was like, well, that's interesting considering I haven't seen any. I haven't seen all these packages here, but it's primarily shoplifting. That's all, and at the major department stores, not even the little small towns. It's not even property crimes. It's just, and I was like, okay, you know what? Sold. I'm moving.
I was trying to think, there were some drawbacks to Massachusetts, but I can't think of what they are right now.
There probably is. It's got a high cost of living. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I spent $30 a plate at each restaurant I went
Oh,
to.
yeah.
That's about 15 cents a year.
Yeah,
Like any tourist townhouse.
yeah.
For sure.
And you're gonna get more expensive stuff there anyway, the cost of goods, because you're right there at the port. And so, I mean, they get a lot of good
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
so your winters would suck.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be awful.
So that's the downside, because I'm not a person that likes to be cold.
Oh, well, then that would be a big downside.
It would be a big downside. I don't know if I could
It
handle
gets cold enough here. Yeah.
it, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd be an even bigger baby during the winter there. Oh, they really?
I heard you will actually sell when we come back.
The videos I provided them weren't very long.
Doctor said, oh, I don't think you really need it, but it. Call the meeting back to order.
Mr. Mayor, motion that we move into executive session for non-elected personnel to discuss employee promotion pay and employee discipline. Recommend 10-minute session to include mayor, council, city attorney, city administrator, deputy city clerk, and public works director.
Second. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
He's got a delay. It's all right.
We're like,
I'm looking at the.
absolutely not.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we
It's
didn't,
just like, I
when we
think she
flew
forgot
in,
something.
we thought about going like onto the strip and stuff while when we flew in, because it was during the day. And then we thought about it, and we thought about it longer, and we're like, never mind, no.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna bring my gun, but I chose not to. And if I was gonna go into Las Vegas, then I would have flown. But I was like, we're good, let's just go straight to St. George. This has been fun. It's been great.
Are you gonna have me down?
Hope you talked amongst yourselves. Oh, yeah.
I learned
Laugh.
some new things.
Yeah. All you hear on cameras is laughing. Can we move those? I got it. I got it. Okay.
Call the meeting back to order.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we increase pay for Kelly Owen to $18 an hour.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we suspend without pay Jody Buckle for the time period of 2 weeks to return on the 22nd of October.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, with no further regular business, we'll go to governing body comments. Vanessa?
I just wanted to ask about bathrooms, but don't run away, Jackie. Are the bathrooms locks back in order? And did we decide what we're doing with the bathrooms for the winter?
We will winterize them when the weather gets close. We have to, because I
So
think
they'll
we
be-
should shut them down and winterize them when freezing, because there's no heat in those buildings. They were designed to be winterized.
The locks are north.
The locks are good to go. Awesome. And I assume that'll probably correlate with the golf course closing down too. They'll probably be at a similar time. And I was gonna ask if we had any idea when we thought that might be so that we can get those last golfers in for the season.
It's kind of weather dependent.
Are we doing a certain temperature? What are we doing this year for closure? You know, Jenny,
Do what? Oh, we usually,
what temperature or what, how are we gonna decide
I
on
put-
closure?
we usually decide based on what the weather looks like. I will have that on the agenda for next meeting.
We'll talk about it further, but remember, use your amenities because fall's turning around, mornings are awful cold these days. Aside from that, Fall Festival is around our corner. It's this weekend, so get out and get your kids out and enjoy that big gathering of everybody before it does get too cold and everybody's inside. And that's part of shopping local. There'll be local vendors out there that you can support. You can buy your Christmas, you can buy everything, but remember, shop local and help out those people. Aside from that, seeing great police work, lots of that going on. Also, I've seen the fire trucks out and about, so I know they're getting maintenance and that's good to see. I feel like someone's got a watchful eye on that, so I wanted to make sure I thank the chief, wherever he may be tonight. Jeff Turner, thank you. And for the employees for doing everything you guys do. I know you try to keep everything in order. I know we had an issue with Dick Collins tonight and trying to get that water taken care of. I know that's a hard one to monitor. I myself have gotten the paper in the mail saying you use 5 gallons an hour for 7 days straight. So I know that we have that system. I understand that systems get outdated or they can't catch everything. That's just kind of a computer thing these days. But we are trying to monitor those things. If you do have a problem, please come up to the girls and talk to them in the office. And to those certain limits, we do forgive some of that water bill. So if you have a problem, make sure you get the facts and come up and see what we can do for you. these girls are always great with helping out and doing that kind of thing. Aside from that, I've been around the square and I love all the crosswalks, and I wanted to make sure that Main Street knew that the crosswalks are great. The kids all like them. They take a little longer to walk across them, so be patient while these kids are looking at the crosswalks. Be patient with them because, you know, it's something new in town and they don't get to do that every day. But also be patient with bike riders. We see a lot of people on those little electronic scooters lately. I tried to tell them keep off the highway, but just, you know, watch for them. And also if you have a golf cart or any ATV, any vehicle that's allowed on the streets, please get that emergency orange triangle. Please put that on there. And please remember to stay off the highways. Just going to the post office, I see it all the time. People just want to speed up there, get their mail, and zip around and get off the highway. But don't do it. Park on the side roads. Don't back out in that traffic. There's so much semi-traffic up and down that road. That's not where you want to be backing out. And if you don't have that big orange triangle, no one knows you're a slow-moving vehicle. So just stay off the road. Do your crossings and get out. Aside from that, you guys have any other warnings?
Just make sure you're looking better when you're going through crosswalks.
Yep.
Slow down.
Slow down. We did have a pedestrian hit, and just slow down. There's a four-way stop there. I see people blow through it. Myself see people blow through it all the time. Just be more careful. Had an accident right in front of my house just a week and a half ago. Just slow down. There's no reason, and weather's going to get bad. Slow down.
I am looking into options for bettering the pedestrian crossings on the square and the four-way.
And the four-way stop, that was a big thing that
So hopefully if I find something, we will.
I wish KDOT would get on that, and where they have the crosswalks down by the Mexican restaurant and down by Highway Inn, I wish they would move those down here because these kids cross the street to go to the gas station. That's the main thing they do when they cross the street. Sonic's right there, easy to get to, you know, not too many streets, but they
Once we're
go
fully
to,
staffed, I plan to have an officer at least try to do some kind of traffic control.
right.
That's something I'd like to implement, but we have to be.
I really think that's a KDOT issue, and I think with, you know, turning in those accidents and those things that they would be alerted to our areas and put those crosswalk signs up and let us have those buttons to push. So maybe that's some letters we need to write and something we need to find,
I've
but
actively started calling already, so
I
hopefully we get
appreciate
it
it.
started.
yes, because my kids and I use them all the time. We walk to the football field and practice, and so yeah, so maybe we need an abundance of letters or something that we can do, but just so everybody in town knows that someone's looking into it, because it's definitely a need that we have here. Aside from that, that's all I have.
Lucas?
Mr. Mayor, everything that Lanessa said, and that's all I have.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody, for your hard work. That's all I've done.
Daryl?
I'll echo what everyone else said, and one thing I'd like to say is, I believe the golf course should stay open throughout the year with a temperature basis when it opens. We lose thousands of dollars to the winters when we have warm days. And that's a fact. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just kind of echo what everybody else is saying. Everybody be careful out there and get ready for our conference in Wichita. And I think everybody just be careful out there. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think
We're
she got me.
adjourned. Thank you.
Sure.